Okay, there you go.
Ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba 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 bum. It's the Mandalorian on Boba Fett, and he was the best episode. And we're happy that he came on Boba Fett, and he's got the dark saber, and he's bad, and he sliced a whole man in half, and it's dope. And we're here Saturday talking with all my blurred friends. Let's go, let's talk some all this dope ass nerd shit. Yes. All right, my bad. I'm all right. I'm a little bit of a music geek too. All right, I know the soundtrack. What's up, Hans Zimmer? What's up, John Williams? And what's up, everybody? We've got a lot going on this week. Holy shit! The dark saber is real, ho! But there's some other things going on as well. Let's just go through the rundown of some of the things that have occurred this week before we bring the panel on. Don't know if y'all knew this or not, but The Witcher Season 3 is now officially in production. Oh, and guess what? The co-creator of the comic book Punisher says that we should actually have a black Punisher. I don't know if some people think that that's not the case. And believe it or not, He-Man has been cast for the upcoming live action Netflix show. And that is something some folks are excited about. Some folks like me, not really so much. But the biggest deal of the day is, holy shit, did you freaking see the freaking book of Mandalorian just this week? Went completely nuts. We get our main guy back, the star Din Djarin, and we gonna talk all about it today, bro. What is going on, y'all, out in the blurred spirit? I am your boy Blurred Man himself, the real Vince Taylor, and I am joined today by none other than Steph, the word nerd. We got Tyrone throwing here, good Ty we like to call him. We got the homie Bad Ty over here looking like a specter. I mean, I don't know, I ain't gonna lie. His new name is Ty Opacity. He's transparent Ty. We've got my man. My homie. Yes, here. She act like him. You know what? Let me shut up. Yes, we here and we talk, bruh. I don't even care how your week is going. I know Yaz is sick. I know Steph is, always busy. And these two always got stuff going on. But I don't care this week, bro. All I care about is the fact that my dog Mando then showed up on the scene, bro. Like, are you serious? Am I the only one that when I was sitting here watching this episode, jumped out my seat within the first couple minutes when I saw what was happening, bro? I was completely floored. All right, y'all gonna have to, you gonna have to monitor me today, Ty. Because I'm going to have verbal diarrhea like a motherfucker, bro. I ain't going to lie. Because I'm so geeked up. Because it wasn't too long ago, if y'all recall, that somebody said something like this. I do have a prediction. We are going to have a crossover from Boba Fett and Mandalorian. Because what we're basically witnessing is the events that led up to the Mandalorian and Boba Fett's original encounter with each other. Pow, pow, pow! Pow, 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 pow.
I just want to know, how long did it take you to go find that video?
Well, believe it or not, it wasn't that far up my memory because it was only posted like a week or two ago. And just so you know, I've been right this whole time. We even talked last week about how Ty was saying, nah. Me and Ty was on the phone. He was like, nah, it ain't gonna be Mandalorian. What they gonna do is it's gonna be like some other Mandalorians, cause they already got their own show and all this and all that. It's like, yo, what did you talk about?
I don't know why you always make me sound like
All right. So we do have some guests as well. I want to shout out to our guests that are waiting patiently for us out in the green room. Enjoy the coffee. Enjoy the free hash that we have in the ashtray back there in the green room. Before we bring y'all in, I just wanted to holler at the core group and say what's going on and see how y'all felt about this episode. I want to start with Stephanie, because Stephanie, believe it or not, for the first time in all of the weeks that we've been doing this, said the name of the show right. Stephanie, what are your thoughts about the show, Miss Ma'am?
I actually really enjoyed this episode. I thought there was plot, there was action, the characters engaged me. I found it more compelling than any episode this season. And I found it very significant that the one thing that was different about this episode versus all the previous ones is that Boba Fett was nowhere to be found. He is the worst thing about his own show.
All right. Well, yeah, that's. Then some people say that that's why it was so good. What say you? Yes, you saw it. What you think?
I wouldn't say like him not being in it was the best thing about it. I just think that the whole episode in total was just like it was gas, you know, and like just because he wasn't in it doesn't mean like, you know, that's the reason why the show is bad. But
why the fuck you lying? Oh my god! Stop fucking lying.
Hey, listen. I mean, that's what some people think. Tyrone, what say you, my friend? Like, how you thought the episode was this week?
Yeah, it was by far the best episode of the show so far, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Just be good, just make it good. And Stephanie, remember how I was like, watch The Mandalorian, you'll like The Mandalorian. That was The Mandalorian. That was the show. That was the how the show is, and you can see what a good show is, what a good Mandalorian show is.
Yes. Well, I mean, all right. Yeah. This was still. I'm just saying, this was the book of Boba Fett that the Mandalorian kidnapped the show, bro. He's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a freaking Amber Alert for the Boba Fett show because this dude it took like over the whole show. Ty, in your review, you were very, very, very vocal about being like, you know what? I mean, it's cool that Mandalorian's here, but damn, his name is not on the show.
Yeah, man. And I mean, we all, I like I said, me and Stephanie have been on twinning energy when it comes to this show. The consistency with our reviews was like epic. She even rocked my hair that episode. I mean, that review. So listen, I love the episode, obviously, because I love Mandalorian. And this was not a crossover event. Like, I agree with Seriously Black. This was more of a takeover event. This was just us, you know, like a preview of what's to come in the next season of Mandalorian. But it does not bode well when your best episode or the best episode of Boba Fett does not have Boba Fett in it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for Boba Fett. There's a lot of things that was mentioned. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see it that way per se. I've seen shows where the lead character has a bye week, like that happens. You know what I'm saying? I've watched the Boondocks, and Riley and Huey weren't in the episode. Grandpa took over, or Tom took over. You know what I'm saying? It happens from time to time. It just so happens that, you know, everybody's hating on Boba Fett.
The Riley or the Huey show.
Oh wow, you're right. You got me on that.
Well, Boondocks wasn't even in this episode.
All right, well, listen. We happen to have so much to talk about. There was so many Easter eggs. I want to go down the list, but before we even start getting too deep into the list, I want to introduce one of our guests this morning, a young lady that I was able to brush up to have a conversation with about this episode. She was so geeked up about the Easter eggs. I was like, yo, your excitement, your enthusiasm, we have to get some of that in our show. Say what's up to Nolly, everybody. Makeup artist extraordinaire. And she is live from the Matrix. What's going on, Nolly? Hey, Nolly, we're just curious. Now, real quick, I know it's our first time here. We often talk over each other, so we often use our hands. We raise them whenever we want to say something if we're all speaking, so we don't talk over each other. But in the meantime, what say you about this most recent episode 5, shall I say, of The Mandalorian? I'm sorry, Book of Boba Fett.
The fans were feasting. They gave us service, and I left no crumbs at the table. I ate that up.
All right. Are you? Would you consider yourself a Star Wars fan, or is this something you new to?
Absolutely. So Star Wars isn't new to me. I wasn't really feeling when Disney took over and did the last 3 movies, but the shows, they're giving, and I'm here for it.
Awesome. Well, yep. See, Steph, it can be done. All right, you know what I'm saying? We out here. And now we got another guest that I am proud to introduce, man. This young man is no stranger to the New Blerd Order, and this is going to be our thickest panel in a while, y'all. Oh shoot! Hold on, man. Before I bring him on, man, I got to get his intro right. So why don't I? Oh, shoot, man. I thought I had. All right. Full disclosure. I'm gonna bring y'all to the background. I normally have the pictures and everything like uploaded, before we start, but that may or may not have happened. Yeah. So what we're gonna do? So why don't we do this? Before I bring up the headliner, why don't we just go through some of these Easter eggs and then I'll bring him on up. All right, so let's just name some of the dope things that we saw in this episode. I just want y'all to fire them off. Now, Ty, you and me, Tyrone as well, we go back when it comes to this stuff, man. What are some of the dope things that we saw in this episode? I'll go first. The Naboo Starfighter. Holy shit. They freaking showed the Naboo Starfighter, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they redid it. They pimped it out, bro. What else did we see this episode?
We saw BB-8.
Yes.
No, BD. Yeah, BD droid. Yeah.
Hate to do that. All right, we saw BD1. We also saw the Armorer, Elm. We saw Paz Vizsla, bro. Paz Vizsla. Do y'all know the whole Vizsla story and how the Vizslas are the ones that evidently are, this guy, she mentioned that Tar Vizsla was the dude who actually forged this saber. And not only that, he was a Mandalorian and a Jedi. Bitch, have you seen this type of shit, Mishigosh, in the Star Wars universe? I wish Daniel was here. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm excited about that, Tyrone. What say you, my friend?
Yeah, no, it's one of the things this episode did was like they gave us so much Mandalorian lore, like Mandalore, if you will. Thank you. No, they really gave us all the history of like of what happened to the Mandalorians, and without like in just a few minutes in such a great way. Like, so you can tell like stories pretty quickly, pretty effectively. Just wanted to point that out. But yeah, the idea of establishing the idea of somebody who has been a Mandalorian and a Jedi. And then, making armor for Grogu and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like they're setting a pretty clear path here, and I like where they're going. I like where they're going with it.
Now, let me ask you something, man, before we bring up our next guest. Like, what is the big difference? Because you have been so vocal this season about Boba Fett not telling the story right, but you've said already that this story that you said, Steph, look, this is how it's done. Like, what's the real big difference in these two shows? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the biggest difference is just that you are a Boba Fett hater and just have not accepted that he's not a bounty hunter that's as badass as he was in the movies anymore.
Yeah, no, I have no problem. If honestly, if Boba Fett wanted to become just like, maybe he wanted to make an Etsy page or something like that, or open up a bakery or something, I'm fine. Just make it a good story. That's all I care about. I don't have any preconceived notions of what somebody should or shouldn't be. And like, if somebody wants to take a character in a different direction, that's great. But like, it's the details, like the devil's in the details. For example, like with Din in this episode, like we know him. We've seen the way he's progressed and stuff. We know how he is caring, but also he's still trying to put on a facade. Like when he was in, he cut himself with the Darksaber. When he was in the elevator, when he rolled up to the people he was trying to collect the bounty from, that kind of thing, he wasn't acting like he was in that much pain. He had to put on a facade almost to say like, hey, look, I'm tough, I'm doing this. But he was out there almost dying. You know what I mean? He wasn't limping and he wasn't grimacing until he was out of everybody's view and until he was able to go and find the armor. You know what I mean? It's like, it's little details like that make sense, that go with the character, that drive a story along. And Boba Fett, it's missing those details, and it's just filled in with, random petting of Rancors and, just little smirks and stuff like that. So it's just those kind of details that to me help to make a story stronger.
All right. Well, I think this next gentleman has an opinion about this as well. Once again, a regular member of our chats here by the fireside, fresh off tour with folks like, Kevin Hart and some more, happens to be stopping by while he's on the road. Here's a quick sample of my man at work.
I'm just here to get this money for this cable bill. You understand? Like, it ain't the cable bill per se, it's that fucking bundle. Cause you never know what's in the bundle till you don't pay that bitch, right? That's when you get an education. I didn't pay the bundle 1 month. They sent my daughter home from school. It was like 9:30. I'm like, you back from school already? She's like, you ain't paid a bundle, Dad? I'm like, tuition is in that bitch?
No stranger to television sets, no stranger to making folks laugh. I want y'all to help me welcome back in full effect. It's my dog Toure, live from Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama. All the way in Birmingham. What's good, party people?
Ain't much, man. Cooler, man. It's good to see you, bro. It's been a minute, bro. We got a full house today. You know what I'm saying? We're glad to have you a part of it. Bro,
you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. First
be...
time I did this, I was like, this shit ain't gonna last. You know what I mean?
For real? Oh no! Oh no, bro!
I'm a pessimist, dude. I look at it ain't gonna last. That's why I did it so early. I was like, let me get on here for its grand opening, grand closing. I don't even know if they're gonna make 100 episodes of this shit, but happy to be here, man, and listening off the top, listening to y'all. With the exception maybe Ty. Are any of you guys old enough to have gone to see Star Wars in the movie theater?
Yeah, I was there. I mean, I know Yaz wasn't.
Yeah, Yaz, that's it. But
anybody else? Just us.
I was born in '83, so I could have seen Return of the Jedi in the theaters, but
no,
you know,
the answer
I was
is
young.
no. Okay. Yeah. Y'all spoiled. That's what it is. It's like y'all get to see your characters every now and then on miniseries and all that. Listen. We used to have to wait 5-6 years before we see it. was like, what happened to Lando Calrissian? You gotta wait. Wasn't no miniseries, wasn't no Netflix, wasn't no side stories. It was, you gotta wait for the next movie. I say that to say, man, like, how many of you guys remember the season of The Wire down the docks?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that season? And it was like, oh, this is whack. Da, da, da. But it was building. It was one of those building seasons that at the end, when you looked at it back on The Wire as a whole, you saw why that was necessary. Series now start like that. Everything is building, especially when we living in this universe, you know, like the universe thing that we're doing. So a lot of the series build, like the Eternals. That movie, for the most part, sucked. Yes. But I see what they were trying to do. They basically opened it up so that you can go so many ways. And that's what they're doing with the series. I don't have a problem with Boba Fett. Like, I get it. The petting of the Rancor and this new, what do you call this new softer philosophical Boba Fett. But I enjoy seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't get to see these interactions with all these other characters. Like, when the chick was like, hit it, Mel, I was like, damn, Mel got another job. I didn't think after he left the nightclub with Jabba the Hutt, you didn't know what happened to Mel. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see these characters in different lights, you know. So I don't have a problem with the man with what Boba Fett is doing right now as a series. I know it's not as enjoyable or as exciting as The Mandalorian was, but I think they'll get there. I think when we look back on a whole, this season will be a little bit more enjoyable. So, and I just think they're trying to build depth with this Boba Fett. But you guys are absolutely right. It's a bit much. Like, you know, he's gonna be reading a book in the next scene. He's like, nigga, are you a bounty hunter or not? Like, so I get. I mean,
we've seen him take as many naps as we've seen him get.
Right. Like, I'm like every day. And that's the fact that you say that when the Wookiee pulled him out of there, I was like, is this a dream? Because he sleep all the time. And I got normal questions. I'm like, how did Wookiee get in here? Like, they don't want to see this big ass Wookiee walking past y'all into his bedroom. Like,
he put on a trench coat. They were like, oh, okay, you good.
So, I'm gonna sneak on them. They ain't gonna see me. But again, I'm enjoying where it's going right now. I'll play it like this. I'm waiting to see. But you guys are you're right. You're spoiled, but you're right. This is kind of yeah. We didn't think that Boba Fett would be all of this learning and watching. We thought it'd be some action. So
yeah. Well, I see that Nolly is watching as well. Did you have those same feelings like when you first started watching Boba Fett? Did you watch The Mandalorian when it first came out? Like, what are your feelings of The Mandalorian versus Boba Fett? Like, do you hate it as much as hater Tyrone does in the top left-hand corner? Or do you like it?
Slander,
so,
I know, right?
So I'm a sucker for lore. And so for me, Book of Boba Fett isn't as bad as everyone is saying it is. I feel like it's more fan service towards older fans of Star Wars. It's kind of, I get why like some people who are new to Star Wars aren't really too into it. But for me, it's all fan service. Like everyone loves Boba Fett from the jump. And so to see him now in not his not so prime time, and Shennick fan, like it's giving. Like I don't understand the hate. I don't get it, but also, you know, I just love storytelling, and so it's giving a lot of background story. It's giving a lot of lore, and I think it's great.
Well, I think it's a big deal. First of all, also that you joined us at the last minute. We'll probably let you go ahead and get some rest after this. But before I let you out of here, I just have a question. This last episode, what was the most exciting moment for you? Because there was a slew of Easter eggs that we discussed in the DMs. What was the one that made you be like, oh shit, and kind of give us the Leonardo DiCaprio?
Okay, so when the armorer was talking about the dark saber and she was giving the backstory, and Paz was there, like, you know, he's got a helmet on, but obviously he was in his feelings. You could tell the way he was eyeing it through the helmet, where he was like, that's my family's. Why are you passing it back and forth? What we doing here? He was a Mandalorian and a Jedi. I was like, what's going on? What are they doing? Where are we going with this? Do we get more? Is this another show? Like, it builds so much into the universe that we didn't have access to before. And so this was a moment. But the Easter eggs through and through, every little thing that was popping up, I was like, I played that game. I know where that's from.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing. Look at that starfighter. Like, I need more.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that's so dope. Well, listen, we hope you'll join us even more in the future. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, y'all. Go ahead and wave bye-bye, y'all. She wouldn't even, she just happened to pop up, man. Thank you so much. So hopefully we can see more of you, Nolly. So thank you once again for joining, man. Nolly, everybody. Nolly.
Thank you.
Of course. Giving us some insight to the lore of Mando, absolutely, and she's right, man. It was dope to see how they tied in some of the book stuff, some of the Republic stuff. I mean, Daniel Biddle must have shit a brick when he's sitting here watching all of this stuff happening. I gotta tell you straight up, man. One of the best parts for me was just seeing that they are not afraid to go full violent. They chose full violence.
Yeah,
he stabbed a dude all the way in his stomach. He sliced another fucker completely in half, Ray.
But you remember from the first episode of the Mando when he pulled him through the door.
Yeah. See, but Mando does that. Like when me and Steph, you know, we all converse during the week. You know what I'm saying? And we stay in touch. We're in our little text message group. And Steph, as soon as she started, she's like, "Yo, this Mando is a bad man. Miri, that know all I know." And I was like, "Yes." And I think that's when I saw the difference. But I mean, Ty, maybe you can help me understand. It's not like Boba's not violent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he doesn't have a dark saber, but he murked the shit out of the biker gang. You know what I'm saying? He did beat the shit out of a few folks in the bar. You know what I'm saying? He's and keep it real. I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm droning on because I'm hella excited about this. But Boba from the movies was no bullshit either, which is why we really loved him, because he had all these gadgets and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He could shoot shit from his arms. He had a flamethrower in his arms. He had rockets in his arms. He had a jetpack. He had his own single freaking ship without any passenger seats in it, which evidently they've expanded in this universe. But now he's, as Finnick says, gone soft. So Talim, I was wondering, bro, like, is it just that Mando is just more of a badass, or has Boba Fett just already seen those days and he's just, I'm not in that no more? The beginning of this show started with him as a bounty hunter. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's open to speculation, but you know, again, like what we had from Boba Fett in the past movies was a person that was committed to what he was paid to do. Now we have a Boba Fett who has made the decision that he no longer wants to work for anyone. So now he's making all of his own decisions. So this version of Boba Fett is brand new to everybody. So we don't know, like, I mean, whether or not he's doing it or why he's doing, like, we saw a little bit of what could make us speculate of why he's doing it, which was his relationship with the Tuskens. But since then, now he's in control. He's not, subjected to being under control, under somebody else's control. But he's now in control, and again, it's just falling short. And when it comes to the Mando showing up, and then you're like, okay, we're gonna wait till we bring on Mando, who has his own show, and then give him this ability to enact all of this violence, and then totally negate the fact that the name of this show is Boba Fett, and we've still yet to see Boba Fett really inflict violence other than his emotional
the drive-by shooting.
His emotional get back, to those speeders who had absolutely no inclination that he was even there. Which if you ask me, where I'm from, that's called a sucker punch. When you ain't looking and then hit you from behind, that's a sucker punch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand on what you. If you want to come get your respect back, you Boba Fett. Pull up. Tell me why you killing me, and don't be on the up in the joint with my baby looking all good. Matter of fact, I gotta always give props to my baby looking all good.
Lord.
But you up there with my baby trying to impress her by shooting dudes from 50,000 feet. Get out of here, man. Stop.
That might have been the wrong chapter of Bikers too. That might have been like the Moss Espa chapter. Maybe the Moss Isley chapter was the one that really did the dirt. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's not doing a good job.
What you mean? That man rolled down on him and y'all smoked my homies. And he dealt with it just like that. There them niggas go right there. Yeah. I respect that.
I hope it was them.
No, but the sad part,
it's either them or some other Sand people. They all got stuff.
Ray don't even know if it was them niggas. He was shooting like, anybody who was on the fight.
You look like him, you them.
What's crazy when he went to the board, he was like, I need that money. He's like, we already paid you. He's like, what? He's like, here we are in Star Wars on Tatooine, and they still get down like it's on the corner. What you?
Ray, you again. We already paid you, and we ain't paying.
We ain't paid and then he went there. You understand? Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, he did.
You on my block? What?
You understand all this? Yeah.
Make a move.
Right. And man, look, Boba had to respect that. He's like, I'll be back. I know who took my money. I'll be back. So,
I feel like Tylene wants Boba Fett to be more like Snoop in Baby Boy and to roll up and roll the window down and peek out real quick like
little nigga.
Yeah, and I think I think we're not giving enough credit to the fact that he just pulled himself out of a beast's stomach. Like Boba been through something. You know what I'm saying? This is the emotional toll that has been taken on him. He done been through a lot. Like, and he still ain't he got his armor back, but he still hasn't gotten back to the source of where this all began. And I do like the journey of, I'm tired of working for people. I'm tired of being the hired gun. I want to hire the gun. So I see where they can go with it, and that leads to more as opposed to us having one season or two. They can open it up. So,
word, yeah, he wants to be more Russell Simmons, less Martin Lawrence. Interesting. Yes, what were you saying?
So remember how I was saying last week? Okay, like think about age group. You know what I'm saying? Like that these two different guys are in, okay? Mandalorian's in the hype of, like he's young,
right?
And like he's able-bodied. Nigga sliced his leg, okay, managed to pull off that he didn't have any injuries, got his bounty, and then limped his ass all the way to the fucking to the damn guild. So I'm saying, like, think of the difference of age. Like, you're talking about a grandpa almost, okay? That's where Boba Fett's at. He's like, like he's like 50s, 60s. We don't really know how old he is technically, you know what I'm saying? But like obviously the acid aged him a little bit, he's got some, you know what I mean? Like that, think about it. He wants to chill and own, you know what I'm saying? Like to retire and own the shit, not be fighting for the shit. So you got to think about the age group. You know what I'm saying? Like what I was saying.
Real quick, I do want to say he's only 5 or 6 years older than he was in Return of the Jedi when he first.
So how old was that?
when like however old he was, we don't know how old he is, but however old he was when he was like, quote, the baddest version of Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi, he's 5 or 6 years older than that. Which, you know,
well,
if you're 40 and then you're 45, I mean, maybe that hurts more than when you're 30 and then you're
It
35.
definitely
You know what I mean?
does.
So, but we don't know that he's
It does.
you know so much older than Din Djarin.
but that's what I'm
Look,
saying.
I can see at 40. I can't
Like,
see.
But like, think about it. You're 40 years old. You go through all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You just got eaten by a damn Sarlacc. You climb out that bitch, okay? Jawas jump your ass and take your fucking armor. You end.
Look, that stripped him down.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Let me finish though. You
Get that
end
shit up.
after that, okay, with the damn Tuskens who also was trying to beat your ass.
Wow.
You know, like think about his growth. You guys have to give the man credit. He's been through hell. And he's realizing all this shit happened because I was doing a fucking bounty. I'm just gonna be boss. Fuck that shit.
Yo, wow, that is a great
That's
point.
dope. That's so
That
dope
is a
that you
great
got
point.
there because that's where he at. Like,
Right, Mandalorian's like, I'm just gonna kill everybody to get what the fuck I want. I don't care right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to think of like their mentality, where they're, you know what I'm saying, like where they're at. It's growth. Give the man credit. He don't want to be fucking murking anybody anymore. He wants to pay other niggas to murk people while he's sitting and collecting fucking the royalties from it. I would be like, shit,
he has gone against that.
That's what he's saying.
No, but even he's gone against that. He was like, I want to make these streets safe again. It's like, oh, you want to be the safety officer now? Like,
well, I don't think it's so much of making the streets safe.
His hands dirty, my nigga. Okay, the donor pays to get everyone else's hands dirty.
Right, and he knows if they at war, I'm not gonna get no money.
Yeah,
I think it's kind that y'all are filling in all of this extra stuff to let the writers off the hook, but like the writers ain't giving us all this. Like,
Look, man, y'all, you know what it is? You want it like Oz, like every week somebody got to die.
Right.
That's why the series is only on for 2 years.
Honestly, again, if Boba Fett wanted to open up a bakery and just make cupcakes all episode, that's great. But just make it a good story that makes sense. That's all I'm asking.
It does make sense that if you damn near got eaten, that you're a little tired of that shit. That makes sense. I'm tired of getting dropped in the shit with some fat dude that don't pay nobody anyway.
I buy the fact that because of Sarlacc now he needs to take some naps. Like, that's cool. Like, I understand. Like, the naps, you went through a lot and you're tired. I get that.
It's not even the naps, bro. He had to get a special tank to fucking revive himself, my nigga. Like, what do you mean naps?
Yeah, look, none of my naps wake up and be like, you're 100% healthy.
Right.
Well, let me. As a comedian, I like to sometimes put little funny things when I'm making a point. I'll like say something exaggeration, make a little joke or something like that. So sometimes it gets a little bit, it gets a little bit confusing sometimes. I know, but no, like I understand what the Bacta tank is for and stuff like that. But then again, in the same show, Fennec Shand gets gut shot and he takes her to the mechanic and she's good in the morning. You know what I mean? He
didn't go to the robo people. He took her. He doesn't want to be a fucking robot, okay? He wants to be a human being in a fucking Bacta tank. Like, let him be. We have our choices.
All right,
that bitch was going to die no matter what. He saved her life. So, like, I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. I'm taking my own Bacta tank nap now.
All right. Back to your corners, literally, guys. This is an endless battle between Yaz and I'm more on Yaz's side than I am on Tyrone's side. Oddly enough, in this particular
Boba Fett hater,
bro. Hold on. Let me correct the record. I know I called Tyrone a hater, and I'm flipping this to you, Tyler. And now I got a question for you, Steph. But he doesn't. I don't think he hates Boba Fett. I think he hates the book of Boba Fett. It's the series itself that he has issues with. He feels like it could have been written better. But he had a good point. First of all, Yaz just freaking gave me the head explosion emoji by basically just rendering the fact that we're in this series because his last bounty that he was supposed to collect killed him. You know what I'm saying? And he had to spend 5 years recovering from a near-death experience that he had for trying to bring Luke Skywalker in. And let's keep it real. Like, this doesn't even make any sense. Like,
Luke Skywalker out here walking around.
He's living life. He's like, oh, Boba, oh, did he die?
Pulling Millennium Falcons out the water and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this dude. So I think that is a big point. But there's a background point that Ty made, and I noticed as well, but he included in his review, that there is a reason why I think this episode, not just because Mando was in it, that was better, and that's because it was directed by none other than Bryce Dallas Howard, who I know as the original Gwen Stacy from the Spider-Man movies. I think that may have had an impact. Ron Howard's daughter, we know Ron Howard directs this, and it clearly shows. Talim, you were saying something though.
To Yaz's point about how Boba Fett came out of the Sarlacc. I'm gonna give you an example of what I deem Boba Fett in the Star Wars universe. So, if you're comparing Boba Fett on a scale of bounty hunting, he would have been the top bounty hunter.
Yep.
So he would have been the Michael Jordan of bounty hunting. So Michael Jordan decided to leave the game of basketball, go play baseball, come back and win 2 more championships. And when you do stuff like that, it's to show that the young boys, no matter how good you are, I was the GOAT then and I'm the GOAT now. Boba, this idea that Boba went into Sarlacc, came out and is soft as hell, it's just terrible writing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go in the GOAT and not come out the GOAT. You're still the GOAT. You may not be the version of the GOAT that you were when you went in, but you're still the GOAT. And this idea that he wants people to work for him and do the work and he just sit back and collect the dough, that's a farce too. This dude went to a meeting with a whole all the leaders in the round table and told them they didn't have to do shit. He said, "Yo, y'all don't got to do nothing. I'll do all the legwork. I'll just sit back and just chill. Just don't join in when they actually fight." That don't sound like a dude that want to sit back and collect the bread. The dude that want to collect the bread is like, I don't care what y'all think. Y'all gonna get out there on the block. Y'all gonna get my money, or I'm gonna slap you, and you. And I got one for you, one for you, one for you, and a one for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's
But see, when he tried that, when he rolled up on them young people and tried all that intimidation, they turned around like, yo, that shit don't mean nothing to us, bro. We don't have nothing as it is. You can't threaten us with nothing.
That's true.
Like, ain't no work out here.
But Toure, was that really a threat? Like a threat is really
what he realized was that killing them wasn't going to set, like, he would have killed them and still been having to deal with this dude selling them water. Like, it was a realization, like, yo, when the droid was breaking it down to him, it's like, yo, you rule like this. They ruled like that. Like, it's different. Like, Jabba the Hutt ruled in fear. The other people ruled with this, or these organizations or uneasy alliances. And at the end of the day, like he said, I want to be rich. He want the money. He want to be on the other side of the shit.
Yeah, yo. I mean,
you can't get there if you dead.
Stephanie, one of the reasons why I think your journey on this series is the most interesting, because unlike everybody else on the panel, you don't have like a lot of back. I mean, I know you know the lore, I know you know the canon, I know you're not just completely aloof to Star Wars universe, but you don't have like that serious, like that. Like we did a Star Wars show live, you know what I'm saying, on stage at the Geek Easy, which I believe you performed at this week, and that's how big. And we want to do it again. For you, since you don't have any at all, like real true tie to it, like I'm curious as to like how you feel about Boba Fett not necessarily adding up to what people want from Mandalorian, since you don't have like a preference. I personally am loving the journey, but I'm just curious, like, to your feelings of the comparison of the two.
As someone coming in at the very beginning, I was very disappointed. I felt like Boba Fett did not come anywhere near leading up to who y'all led me to believe he was. Now, if you had started out like he's a sad old man that's trying to build an empire from scratch, I'd have been like, okay, cool, I can follow this, I can root for it. But the impression I got was like, ooh, he's a badass, he's a bounty hunter, he's amazing. Tylee out here calling this man Michael Jordan. He is not. he's trash. And
Oh shit!
because I expected him to be good, it was very disappointing when he was so garbage. Maybe if I'd started with lower expectations, I would have been able to enjoy it more.
That makes sense.
It's the spoiled thing. It's like y'all like, yeah, he should be this, he should be that. It's like last time I saw Boba Fett, it was Empire Strikes. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
In real time, the last time it's 20 years, dude.
Can I just?
They gotta build some background story. They just can't throw him back out there like, oh, he back.
Well, go ahead, Tyrone.
Yeah, no, I to kind of piggyback on Stephanie's stuff, and that's my thing with the whole show is that, like, some of my first memories were Star Wars memories. After Return of the Jedi, I had to wait most of my life for the prequels, and then after the prequels, I was like, well, I guess that's it. I guess that's all the Star Wars we're gonna get. And then they started busting out new stuff, after the fact, and we got to watch Clone Wars, whatever. But with my problem with the show is not who Boba Fett is. It's not that he's was this or now he's that or anything like that. I'm looking at it purely. I'm stepping out of the Star Wars, like, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, so sometimes that can it can sway your opinion. I step out of the Star Wars world and I just look at it as a show, just a regular ass show, and I'm like, what are they trying to tell me? What are they trying to get across? And sometimes it's just like they just dropping the ball, and that's my argument. My argument isn't necessarily Star Wars based. It's just that it's at times just a bad show.
Yeah. Well, I still disagree. I think that it's a bad show for those who want Boba Fett to be the gangster he was.
Did you not hear the first part of the shit that I said, Vince?
I ain't allowed to disagree. I can't disagree. I mean,
I address what you just said, that it's not about what I thought Boba Fett was or anything like that, or anything that comes from previous Star Wars stuff. I'm stepping out of the Star Wars where I'm just looking at it as just a show from beginning to end and that kind of thing. And it's just not great. Our Star Wars love can keep us watching bad stuff. We saw it in Phantom Menace. We saw it in some of the
Whoa! I gotta hit the pause button, bro. Whoa! Okay. I won't deal with this slander of the prequels. I'm so tired of folks talking shit about the prequels just because of Jar Jar Binks. What really?
I didn't say anything about Jar Jar Binks. Damn, you telling on yourself, man. You all right?
I feel like Jar Jar is the reason why most folks hated on that first. I mean, if you think about it, like, what did we gain from that first series? From Phantom Menace, bro. Listen to all the things we got. We got not only Jar Jar, who I still think is the coolest Jamaican in the Star Wars universe, but we got a double-sided lightsaber. We got Darth Maul. We got young Obi-Wan Kenobi, Queen Amidala. We got a whole Naboo freaking troop. Bruh, how do we not love this? And we even seen young Palpatine. What really, the only thing that I had an issue with, and I felt bad about this, was I thought that Anakin wasn't casted right. I thought he looked the part, but unfortunately he wasn't as, I mean, I hate to talk about young kids like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's just a young man, but I thought Anakin in both casts, even as Hayden Christensen, wasn't necessarily the best cast for the part. But other than that, in terms of story, George Lucas, I thought, did his thing in the Phantom Menace. So I guess me and you just ain't as cool as we thought we were.
I guess we ain't in the problem solving business.
No, and again, that's my thing. Like, with all the stuff you said was awesome stuff. Like, I like all that stuff, but the movie as a movie wasn't great. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to say. When we do love the Star Wars stuff, so we love seeing the double-sided lightsaber. Darth Maul was awesome. You know what I mean? We got to see Obi-Wan's growth. We got to see that really cool stuff in Star Wars lore that we love and that we hold dear and stuff like that. But when you take an extra step back and zoom out a little bit and look at something as just a movie, sometimes they're not good. Like the A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, brilliant movies. I think most people would agree. Some people hate Return of the Jedi. I love Return of the Jedi. Yes, you've never heard, but the Return of the Jedi hate is out there. I love it. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. But
I think y'all be up too late at night looking for something to break down. This just don't make sense. How you gonna hate Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, no, I know, I love it. But people do hate it. Like, people hated the side of Ewoks just like kill people. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't handle the idea that Ewoks existed. It was too cute and all this other stuff. But, like, sometimes we get cool shit in Star Wars, but sometimes we get cool shit in shows or movies that just aren't great. Like, we got really cool shit in episode 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? We got some cool shit, but were they great movies?
Right. All right. Well, you know what? You might be onto something here. And yes, maybe he can put me in my place, because as I just expressed in live real time, I get real geeked up with the Easter eggs. You know, I mean, I basically just said this movie was so great because of all of these things that I saw in it, and I didn't mention the plot whatsoever. And I think that may be happening right now. This most recent episode was a slew, just like Nolly told us earlier, a slew, a preferable, a smorgasbord, a 3-day Thanksgiving feast of freaking Easter eggs. I mean, including the BD1 droid that Tyrone salivated over. And not to mention, I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm starting to get a real kink. I'm starting to get a real thirst in my desire for Star Wars stuff, for more backstory on the armorer. I want to hear a little bit more about her backstory, what it is she does, who she is, if she's ever removed her helmet. Because, like, bitch, the whole Mandalorian religion is built off of the honor system. Like, Boba could have been like, hell no, I ain't never took out my, like, nobody was around.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right, but remember they were saying that that was a different time. Like, them dudes, those strict Orthodox Mandalorian don't exist.
Yeah,
so
Bo-Katan was talking about that in The Mandalorian, saying how that's basically almost like a cult. Like they're they're religious fanatics, and like
like we don't get down like that no more, bro. Tell your helmet off, get this money.
It's like the King James version versus, like, you know, but I do think that I think that they gave us the appropriate amount of Easter eggs. You could tell that Bryce Dallas Howard wasn't with the bullshit. It wasn't like before we saw, you know, the retro C3PO droid in the low speed chase on episode 3, and also, like, you know, the R2 droid. Like, we saw, like, I mean, to see a live action BD1 droid is a big deal. Let's just keep it real. Like, how often do you see a conversion from a video game into the live action series? Number one. Number two,
they made him like all excited, like in the game too.
Yeah, and he's moving around and all that.
You catch that moment where he was like limping, and it was like just when you first see him in the Jedi Fallen Order game. I was that geeked me. I was like, he's doing the limp and everything. I was like,
See, this is what y'all do. Y'all take the games and then think that's supposed to be part of the
It is. It's part of the lore. It's part of the
right.
story.
But that's what you put all that in. Whereas the writers and some of these people, like, here's another thing that happens with writing today with TV. They have to introduce it to people that have never seen any of this.
Right.
TV now is written so that I can sit down and not know nothing and pick it up from episode 3 or episode 10 and still know all the characters and what's going on. So a lot of times, that's why these shows don't follow a certain road that you may think it's going to go in, because they spend so much time introducing these characters to new crowds that aren't familiar with them.
Well,
we already know what to expect. So it's like they almost look like they don't have to please us because they already kind of know what we're going to want.
Well, we got one of the fans that they're writing for, if that's the case, in Stephanie, and she's like, I don't like this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Stephanie's like, this is my first introduction to Boba. And
well,
like,
no, Stephanie is like that because y'all hyped it up. Like, this guy is this, and it's like
true.
Well, you got to credit. We have to, like, you know, make it sound interesting so she'll watch it. Like,
yeah, it's hard to get Stephanie to watch it.
Star Wars. What is that? Why are they flying around? What the hell is that thing? Like,
out of Star Wars fan.
Here, we got to get her excited about something. You know what I mean?
Maybe she's not a fan. Maybe
we told her,
like, yo, you gotta watch this. No,
but to that point, too, Ray, she loved this last episode,
right?
And we hyped up Mandalorian, and damn it, if he didn't.
Right. Well, because you're coming in off the Mandalorian, which was a more energetic, more exciting series. So you go, if you like the Mandalorian, this dude Boba Fett is the man. Well, he is, but he also got, as they're trying to inject, a story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, it's to me, I don't know, you guys may know how many more episodes we got.
I think, well, that's a great question. I'm glad you posed it too. Because
now, and I mean, y'all can sit here and act like the Mandalorian was so excellent, but after a while running around with this goddamn baby, let's be real.
No way.
He's such a killer.
Let's be real.
He's such a devastating evil person, but he get the so
listen.
You know, pick apart a lot.
Right. Every household in America. Every household in America fell in love with Baby Yoda. And
yes, they did, but still, as a Mandalorian killer badass,
I mean, yo,
He putting his life on the line to protect a baby.
But they told the story. They told it well.
Yeah,
it was, you know, it was part of the reason he protected the baby was because it was part of his creed. You know what I mean? Like his creed was like, now you have to return this child to its people. Like that's part of our creed.
No, at first, no. Now you watched it. He delivered that baby, and then found out what they was going to do to him, and then found out, oh, I got a heart.
Right, and then the armorer was like, "You have to return
Boba
to
Fett
his people."
would have shot that
Jedi.
baby.
That's what I was talking about.
Boba Fett would be like, "My work is done here. I'm going back."
The new Boba Fett would have been like, "You hungry, fella? Here's some snacks. Here's some snacks, buddy." Yeah.
The Tuscans made him mad soft. Boba Fett would have breastfed Grogu.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, come on, man. Yo, why y'all trying to make Boba Fett into Mr. Mom? Like the dude was he was a dope bounty. I mean, and y'all talk about Turay keeps calling him a baby. He was 50 when he met him. He was 50.
He definitely got whatever.
He's older than Mandalorian, yo.
Right. My thing was that whole move all through that was soft. He ended up going to some other city fighting them. All for this bait. Like. At least Boba Fett's change of heart came from him almost dying.
Yo,
I mean, 7 episodes. He keeps talking about like he's just like a baby, like he found him at Walmart. Like this dude, the legit used the Force, bro. This autistic Jedi. Yo,
he don't know how powerful he is.
He saved his life and they created a bond. Okay, that's really what happened. All right, like let's be serious. Like he didn't know that the child had powers. The kid saved his life, and then he couldn't really give him up after that. Like especially to people who are gonna fucking torture him. So it's a compelling fucking story. I mean, like
and the Tuscans saved fucking Boba Fett's life.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing. I'm just saying you gotta give credit where credit is due. Don't be a fucking
All I'm saying is these Mandalorians have a heart, and for y'all to think they just ruthless killers ain't gonna work out for the storyline.
They're ruthless killers with hearts. We got
right. At some point they gonna show this heart.
Let's be clear. Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian. Anyway, go ahead, Tyler.
Just to confirm, there are 7 episodes in this series, which means there's 2 episodes left.
Okay.
And based on the story, and see, I'm in total agreement with Tyrone. It's not that we hate Boba Fett at all. It's just that there was a lot of unnecessary stuff done, and then to do it and then not kind of like really delve into it. Like, number one, why give us this badass Tuscan fighter and then kill her? Like that just made no sense. She's that badass.
Are we sure she's dead?
About to pull up. Yeah, unless she's about to pull up later or something like that. But even with that being said, you spent 4 episodes and gave Mando one, which I'm assuming Mando's going to be in these last 2 as well. Based on what we saw in this last episode. So right now, you know what I mean, and yeah, Sirius Black is on the same team with me and Tyrone. It's about the story. It's about the pacing. It's about what's going on with the writers in the writing room. It has nothing to do with Boba Fett other than the fact that they're just writing him a bad storyline.
I just think that y'all gotta wait. Like they come out 7, like probably 3 seasons of this are already in the can.
Get them.
So it's not like they sitting there waiting to release them, and y'all gotta wait. Like season 3 will probably tie season 1 and 2 together.
I doubt very seriously.
That's normally what they do. Like you'll get the background on this one, you'll get the background on that one, and then all of a sudden they'll be together on some quest.
And speaking of together, bro, I think what we are witnessing as well is an Avenger type coalescing in the Star Wars universe. First of all, I think it is pretty safe to say that at this point, Tatooine is the center of the Star Wars universe. I mean, it's the opening of every movie. Yes. All right, Anakin opens at Tatooine, Luke opens on Tatooine, Boba Fett is now crawling out on Tatooine, Mandalorian meets comes to Tatooine, Chewie breaks arms with so Tatooine now is officially like Washington D.C.
And it used the fact that it used to be covered with water.
Oh wow!
You see what I'm saying? That may come back up. Like Tatooine may have been something else, and it might have been like the home planet for a lot of them.
Right, and let's not forget Boba Fett's home planet as he
Covered
said,
in
he
water.
grew up all around water.
Yeah.
So maybe something happened where the Empire, I don't know, who knows. But now I can honestly say that I can predict, and if I may, my predictions have been coming to fruition for the most part, that we're going to see Jon Favreau use the education he got from Marvel University and start to integrate these characters. And here's what I'm seeing. We already got an Ahsoka Tano show in the works. We've already got Boba Fett, and we're showing basically, Tyrone, how Boba Fett and the Mandalorian are completely different. And I think that they wanted that. They didn't want the Mandalorian and the Boba Fett's to run parallel. Even though we can all say that the show is lackluster, we've definitely concluded that Boba Fett is no Mandalorian. Okay, so we got Mandalorian, we got Boba Fett, we've got Ahsoka Tano. We even may have, and I hope to God we get to see Bo-Katan and those other Mandalorians somehow, more than likely in the next few episodes, even though Bo-Katan had to surrender the dark saber even after she lost the battle with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So I see the integrating of all of this. And let's not forget also Obi-Wan, even though it's supposed to be a prequel, is coming. But those three in self, Boba, Mando, Ahsoka, I think are going to be the allegiance that we're going to see form in these next few years as Star Wars develops.
You left one out. You left a major one out, man. And that's the Grogu. That's that Grogu. Grogu is with Luke.
Yep.
Grogu is with Luke. You can't.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Now, you're gonna have to tap into that at some point.
But also, Obi-Wan is dead at this point though. So there's he won't be included in any of this.
Yeah.
He'll get his own show that's different
Right.
in a different time setting. But yeah, he won't be in any. Any
he won't be in
team-ups.
the Avengers.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Unless he wants to come as a ghost and be like, "Hey guys, you're doing a great job."
Hey, and he may do that.
maybe.
When you're a member of when you have conquered and mastered the Force, you don't see death. All right, you just become a blue projector.
Yeah. But Luke Skywalker is in play.
No, he's not. Luke Skywalker is. Well, you're right, because yes, timeline wise.
Yeah.
However, there was some speculation about a Luke Skywalker show.
Right.
But I truly believe that they would be doing a disservice if they. Do we want a Luke Skywalker show?
Like the whole thing.
What you mean?
I would rather.
We didn't really get to see him train when he was with Yoda, though. So that's a whole story that we can tap into. You know what I'm saying? Like when he train, you know what I'm saying? Like on that island where Yoda, dies. We didn't get to see any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Or Leia training, both of them training as teenagers. We didn't get to see any of that shit.
We get to see
about it.
That would be a great
recasting.
That would be a great block right between the time, like you saying, after his training and then when he showed up with his all black on. What was Luke up to? That, you know what I'm saying? When he got that when he showed up in that all black shit, it was like, my God.
They already have. Okay, so 11 from Stranger Things, she's already has cosplayed fucking Carrie Fisher as young Leia, and they're really considering her being fucking casted for that. So it could happen.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't mind some Luke Skywalker.
Me either.
To me, he's always that guy in the Star Wars universe. More Luke Skywalker is not a bad thing.
Right, but we didn't get a lot of Leia and how she's connected to the Force either. You know what I'm saying? Their connection and their bond is when they found each other, we didn't really get to see any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to see tidbits of them as adults. You know what I mean? Figuring out they're related, but we didn't get to see them train. So that whole scene would be it'd be smart if Disney pulled that shit off.
Yeah.
And one of the things that still, they still have a lot of room to really develop is how far the Jedi's powers actually what is the extent of a Jedi's powers? Can they traverse time and space? Because we did see what was that last movie with Luke when he died? Didn't he literally his mind transference all the way over to another part of the galaxy?
Projection.
Yeah.
Projection. Yeah. So if we're doing that, maybe the Jedi's powers can, that maybe they can be strong enough to traverse time.
He died after he did that, though.
He did. And but it doesn't mean that a younger, stronger Jedi could not pull it off. We're talking about Luke, an older Luke, and everything like that. So
let's be clear. Luke in The Rise of the Skywalker, where he actually It wasn't then. It was in the Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Excuse me.
Jedi.
It was in the Last Jedi that he transcended to the Force realm, and that's in a timeline that's past where we are right now with Mando and Boba Fett.
Yes.
You're talking about a timeline where there's now the new the Order as opposed to the Republic. We're still dealing with the remnants of the Republic. The Empire. In this series, which I thought was a very, very telling. It shows how much the Mandalore think of themselves when the Armorer is like, look, the Empire. For 30 years they were around. The Mandalore has been around for 10,000 years. You know, I was like, holy shit! And they're talking about Tar Vizsla. I'm here for Tar Vizsla.
Yeah.
Can I get a Tar Vizsla spinoff? Can I get a Tar Vizsla episode flashback?
But see, here's the thing with Disney having all of this, they can do all that, bro. Like that's the thing with these universe. Like Marvel has shown them the way, so we gonna get it may not be these shows like this, the live act, but it may be cartoon. It may be a side little mini series. Might be a little quick movie they do.
Right.
It's so much to expect from this, and they're writing it out like that so that they can put stuff in and bring it back together and make it tight. I think the next movie is going to be dope.
Can someone please bring back my nigga Mace Windu so we can find out what the fuck happened?
That, right. Like, yo, that's the dude I want to find out about how he get here.
Right. I'm so ready to find out what the fuck, because
his story?
Like he just got thrown out of a window. Like, let's be serious. We know he's not dead. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody.
They probably can't afford that though. They had to do Sam Jack with CGI. Like he could only be in 4 or 5 scenes.
That's fine though. I'm just saying though. I just want to start. If we can start to see from crawling out of fucking Sarlacc, we can start to see from you getting shot out of fucking window, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because my thing is, how y'all all so powerful sitting here on this council, but then you just get thrown out like
well, I mean, come on. All right, look, he didn't just get.
He got jumped.
I mean, he was the Empire. Palpatine was withholding the Force for years. He was a closeted Force wielder. And then all of a sudden, when he gets shot and his face turns into a garbage pail kid's face, he starts to, no, you. I'm here for a Mace Windu origin story.
Yeah.
I don't care how they do it, but I would prefer that it's theatrical, not for the series.
Right.
I do think that we would enjoy a series, but I think Mace Windu is worthy of the big screens. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson, give me a break. But I want to see him growing up. I want to see him if he became bald or if he was born bald. You know, I mean, I want to see his family.
I think Sam Jack always been bald.
Was his mom and pop's Jedi? Was he adopted? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am here for the Mace Windu. The first official Black Jedi on screen. I'm here for that. And Stephanie, if we could. Mace Windu is the guy with the purple lightsaber in the Star Wars universe, who actually it's the grape lightsaber. Key and Peele gave us the joke. They're like, "How you gonna have the first Black Jedi and you give him a grape lightsaber?" Like, what the hell? Right. But anyway, but the reason why we watching Boba,
because purple lightsaber
Samuel L. Jackson.
The story is that he actually went to George Lucas and specifically asked for a purple lightsaber, and George Lucas was kind of too afraid to say no. So that's why we have purple lightsabers in the Star Wars universe.
I appreciate it.
Not only that, to add to that story, Samuel L. Jackson lobbied his way into Star Wars too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he was like, "Look, man, just give me something. I don't care. I'll be a stormtrooper. I don't give a shit." And they was like, "Nah, we got something better for you than that."
When you think of Samuel Jackson, though, he been in everything. Like, I like Paul Mooney's joke about Samuel Jackson. He's like, I like that nigga. I like that Samuel Jackson. He said that nigga's in a movie he's not supposed to be in.
Right.
I was watching the Vikings the other day. He said that nigga sitting on the boat with a blonde wig on. I said, you right, yo. That's how Sam Jack get down. He takes any role. But yeah, I would be dope for Mace Windu. Some Darth Vader, man. Some early Darth Vader.
The Obi-Wan show.
Right, like when him and Obi-Wan was running and then one went that, like, there's a lot of dead bodies between Darth Vader and getting back to that black helmet and
but you're probably going to see what you're asking for though, because that Obi-Wan show does have Hayden Christensen and is probably going to have some young Darth Vader. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Look, I like it because when it was young Darth Vader in the prequels, he was scary, dude. Because they knew they couldn't do nothing with him. It was like, yo, we got to get like,
Yeah.
It's like you killed all those kids. It was like they couldn't do nothing about it. Like he was
honestly, to Ray and Stephanie, I got to remember we got to bring Stephanie into this world. Stephanie, like I was saying, I would love to see Darth Vader more, but when he first wakes up and realizes he's in a body and he's lost Padme, and like, how does he transition from human to dude with no limbs who's scarred up, he's got Deadpool vibes, and now he's, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here for that. What's up?
Right quick. Did y'all notice on that scene where they showed him? It seemed like the graphics and the costume on that scene when you seen him and he was in the body and his legs was all broken, but he woke up like, no, that seemed real corny. Like it didn't even seem like the CGI was worse than the earlier movies. It was
hashtag prequels. Yeah.
Right. It was like that was. He looked like he was short. Like who's this toy Darth Vader y'all trying to pull off?
Those were his temporary legs. They were like, we got you on the second go around.
They ain't stretched out yet. They had to get
high ground. I'm here for that. But just to kind of get back, Stephanie. So Mace Windu, one of the reasons why we have a Boba Fett show, Stephanie, is because Mace Windu, the Black Jedi, who actually had the great lightsaber, killed Boba Fett's dad in Attack of the Clones. He didn't just kill him; he sliced his head off. There's a scene I want to show you so bad, but I don't want to cancel the show.
So for that constant scene they keep showing where he's a little kid holding a head, like a helmet.
Yes,
that's the scene I'm talking about. Like Mace Windu.
Oh.
Yeah. So it would be dope to see them give us backstory to the guy that, for some would say, created the Boba Fett that everybody loves,
right? By
making him a fatherless child,
right?
So I think that there's something there, and also to add to the Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen, from what I'm reading in the articles, has signed on to the Obi-Wan spinoff. So I do expect to see some, some coordination with the Darth Vader and Obi kind of going through the Tatooine. Once again, we're back at Tatooine deserts, kind of figuring out whether or not he's the reason why the Empire is about to take over, because he trained the one after they told him not to do it. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much going on, bro. I mean, we didn't even talk about the fact that Mandalorian went through TSA, had to give up his guns, put the dark saber away. Had to deal with the baby when he was on his ship. It was a baby. He got pulled over by the police, same police that he saw in season 2.
How about that? Yeah, that was funny when they put in like, hey, next time you on your.
Next time. Hold on. Who made like the rebels, the universe police? Like what's going on here? Like,
so they're Republic now.
I mean, they fought a war so they could run shit.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. They won,
right?
Bro, you got they made you boss. The Empire.
They had shit.
But do they sit by every moon with a radar detector, like trying to figure
traffic control, my nigga? Yeah, like
right.
Yeah, you know how the cops work. They're bored. They're bored. They're looking for
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is a.
And look, and the last time they wasn't paying attention, these niggas built the Death Star right under their nose. So
that part. But
they are paying attention now.
My nigga couldn't even like. My nigga couldn't even.
Cops to police the whole universe.
Hey, would you rather have that big gun built again? He's like, yo, somebody got to go outside and look around.
Like, I ain't had a vacation in 6 millennia.
And somebody brings that up back at the office every time. Like, last time you went on a vacation, they built a Death Star. Just saying, you might want to hurry back.
They're going to run into Boba Fett and they're going to be like, you get to take naps?
Right. Yeah, man, I seen you was taking that, man. How much something like that run?
To think, huh? Okay, get on Amazon real quick.
Yeah.
Can I book a night at the Polynesian Spa with you, Boba? Let me do it. But yeah, man, it's so much happened, man. I mean, what about the fact that they pulled him over, but were too slow to even go after him? You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't even give it. I mean, the Naboo Starfighter is the fastest ship on record, from what I understand. Like, forget the Millennium Falcon, forget the 12 parsecs, which actually is a time interval, not a velocity. That's a whole confusion.
Parsecs, measure of distance.
Measure of distance. Excuse me. But I'm just curious, like, what. How are they supposed to? He was test driving it, and they're like, "Run your beacon." He's like, "Nigga, I just got this shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even got it painted yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even put the hubcaps on.
His temp tag fell off. The tape got messed up. His temp tag fell off the window.
They don't care about none of that.
Right.
So, do you think that, like, they have to worry about, black? You know what? Let me stop. I was about to go to a whole nother place with it. You know what I'm saying?
You're about to say driving while Wookiee. Is that what you're about to say?
I was about to be like,
which is the thing.
How deep is the prejudice? Oh Lord, whether these Wookiees. Anyway, but yeah, man, definitely thoroughly enjoy. And last thing I just gotta say is, like, the first few minutes of this episode, I think clearly we show, like, the ruthlessness of this dark saber. I'm curious if you guys are as curious as I am about what all it's going to take to wield it. If you notice, when he was dealing with the armorer, they were kind of like sparring, and he was like, "Yo, it's so heavy," and she's like, "Because you're fighting against it. You're fighting against it." Now, this is the first time I've seen a lightsaber wielded by anybody other than a Jedi, so it is weird to see him not hold it and, like, wield it with grace and kind of, and so I am a little curious, Tyrone, like, what you think we could expect from a lightsaber that's being wielded by somebody who does not use the Force, at least as of yet, and it shows because he can't even pick it all the way up, bro.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Yeah. So he obviously hasn't been trained and stuff like that. And they're always very serious about lightsaber training and how dangerous lightsabers are. But the dark saber is unique in that it's said to actually kind of pull in the thoughts of the person who's wielding it. And if your mind isn't clear, and if your thoughts if you're distracted by something, then that's going to increase the weight of the blade. And that's why she was talking about you're distracted. Your mind is your mind is heavy. She kept talking about his mind being heavy, and that's what they're trying to get across. They actually tackled this in Rebels, if I'm not mistaken. And they talked about the dark saber. So I think what we're going to have to. I think what they're setting up is kind of a new relationship between him and Grogu, and how that's going to actually carry on, because right now, like, he's missing his friend, and it's affecting the way he fights, and it's so he's got to deal with this. He's got to go and deal with this whole thing, and so he could actually correctly wield the dark saber.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense. In Rebels, they mentioned, I think they mentioned like every time they talk about Darth Vader, I think they mentioned Tar Vizsla as well. But I'm interested in seeing how he ends up wielding this. I don't get the sense, Talim, that he's going to be doing any Anakin Skywalker lightsaber type tricks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was able to, like, turn around, and Obi-Wan will turn around, and I think Mando's going to be more of a sword fighter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. Let's wrap this up, man. The Mando, we still got the Book of Mandalorian.
Didn't Finn also
oh, you're right. You're right.
Also, Han Solo did in Empire Strikes Back, but
and Han's too.
Yeah,
you are absolutely well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes. I don't count Han, because he used it to open up a tauntaun. He wasn't fighting anybody. But and it stank.
That'd be crazy, because it's like that's the one thing you can't get from watching something. It's like, I know it's stank. I don't know if I'd have made it through that.
That was interesting, because he described it as stank, and then they started showing it, and he opened the flesh up, and I felt like I could smell it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that happened to y'all too.
Yeah, it did. It did. Like The Walking Dead. Every episode of The Walking Dead, I'm like,
oh, Jack loves The Walking Dead. That's her favorite show, ain't it? But then we've got, Finn.
Yeah,
we didn't get to tap into his Force sensitivity. Like, he was supposed to, like, get a little deeper into that. And there's a storyline there, because Finn could have very well been another Black Jedi. How dope would it be to see Mace Windu and Finn?
That'd be dope.
But that whole freaking the sequels got completely fucked up. All 3 movies written by 3 different people. That doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and it shows. But hold on the story. So thank you. We got to see Strangers with Candy once again. I don't know why she shows up in all these episodes. I don't know why there's no Flatiron on
Tatooine.
It's that Tatooine humidity, man.
I was about to say the desert does crazy things to your head.
That's Weird Al Yankovic's mom.
That's the Bob cousin.
Jawa too. Watch out.
Wondering where he got his luxurious hair.
Yo, but she showing her how to make. For a mechanic, bro. She showing her how to. She convinced Boba, like, look, bro, this is what you want. Forget that other stupid ass ship. We got a ship that's gonna like kick all kind of ass. And sure enough, bro. I ain't never been to a mechanic that told me to help fix my own car, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing.
Didn't I just give you a pocket full of coin and you want me to pick up hold up now? So that was cool.
They also they built a hot rod, like they did like the 50s, right? You know what I mean? Like they built a damn hot rod with an engine coming out like it's a damn Cadillac. You know what I mean? And they managed to pull it off. You know what I mean? It was pretty.
It looks good.
Pretty brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Got the Jawas out there stealing all the parts.
Yeah, she's just how about
I
gotta buy my ship back from you piece by piece.
They're really hairy.
Yo, hold up. Are we just gonna though ignore and just talk over the fact that this chick said that she fucked the Jawa and she speaks full Jawaese?
Right.
Are we gonna ignore that she said that they're hella furry and that she was in a not just sexual but a full-on relationship?
I think I ignored it because I heard it, but it was like.
Yeah, the Pornhub search algorithm went crazy though.
Well, you say
I said the Pornhub search algorithm went crazy after that episode. People were very curious.
Are they furry? Because
and that would be the little Jawa that shot his shot right there when he heard that. He was like, "Oh, whoa, you Jawa? I ain't got shit to do tonight." She was like, "Nah, I'm trying to fix myself. I'm working on me right now."
That was so weird and unnecessary. Like, who in the writer's room was like, what if the mechanic is having sex with one of these creatures? And everybody was like, yeah, that's what the episode needs. Like, that's definitely my least favorite part and just entirely unnecessary. Gross. Why?
Steph, why are you hating, man? These all of these Jawas, they all got jobs, they all got wheels. You know what I'm saying?
They're animals.
They're very resourceful. They're very resourceful, and they steal.
Yes, I don't appreciate that. Steph is against interspecies dating.
Yeah, right.
I think that's very old fashioned of you, Steph.
Right, you need to be more open minded.
Yeah.
Well, they take all your shit.
Bestiality, because that's what it is. That's what it is.
You either need to be open minded and dating a Jawa, or keep your eye on your shit. That's either
one. Woman does not like a gift. I mean, they bringing you shit every day every
time. They bring you
out here bringing you shit.
And they bring you whatever they found from the time they leave the house till the time they get you.
She got to make a list, okay? They don't just bring her shit. That she got to make the list.
Right. We'll pick that up on the way.
He has to make
Star
the list
Wars,
for the
am I going to see more of this? I hate it.
Yeah, interspecies dating.
Do they do that often?
Yeah. And I don't like, I don't like though. I gotta agree with her. I don't like when I'm attracted to an alien looking chick, like a chick that run the bar.
Yeah, the Twi'leks.
Yeah, I'm like, but then you got the thing. Like,
hey, all right, come on, bro. Look, Teray, you and I are similar.
Do you rub that?
Oh my
God! you know damn well, bro. When you was a kid and you saw Return of the Jedi and you saw that lady dancing for Jabba, that you was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but when I get older, I'm gonna fuck it. She was like, she's got like big tits coming out of her head and shit. Like it was a whole crazy thing, bro. Damn, I wish I had said that cleaner. Now I can't use it.
Hey man, Captain Kirk showed us the way, man. You know what I mean? Captain Kirk knocked them off from galaxy to galaxy. Whatever. Captain Kirk got off the
don't matter with Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk got off the ship with it unbuttoning his pants. What's up? Vital frontier.
Yo, where the green women at?
We going with no man.
Where the green women at?
Where the three-headed women at?
Yo, all right. Well, listen, man, we got to wrap up about Boba Fett, but I definitely want to get into some of this Peacemaker, even though it was completely overshadowed by Boba Fett this week. I'm not going to lie. Like, it had almost gotten to the point where I was like, oh, man, all right, I watched Boba Fett, but Peacemaker, though, that's what I'm really looking forward to. And this week, it reversed. But yes, man, we definitely had a dope-ass episode. We got to see the TSA. We got to see the BD-1 droid. Bryce Dallas Howard directed. Very dope episode, and I can only expect that next week it'll be even doper because I'm expecting collaboration time. Boba Fett, obviously, that Ty's girlfriend, Fennec Shan, has now connected the two of them. So I think that next week, these last two episodes, I think are going to be flame as fuck, and damn near tempted to say that we may even see Grogu.
Right.
I think so before the series ends out. Yeah.
Since you've been speculating, you've been doing so good. What did Mando make Grogu?
Yep, that's a great question. So Mando made this little thing. They burnt down. They melted the Beskar, and then he made him this little. I don't know what it is, but it looked like it's in the shape of Yoda. But I don't know what it is. Do you care?
Let's go ahead and give me your speculative, response. What do you think he made him?
I think he put an eighth of Tatooine Droid in that.
Wait,
I think that is Tatooine Kush in that little bag. He's like, yo, it looks like you. You see, that's our brushes.
It's lime green.
Oh, yeah. He's like, here you go, little guy.
Jesus.
But look,
I went all the way to the ring world to pick you up a sack of this finest, sweetest Chiba, my friend.
Right, he's like, look, guy, this is some killer. Put this in your little buggy.
Yo, let's see the stash, y'all. Let's see the stash. Hey, I call this my Swedish Grogu.
That's the road pack. That's the road pack.
I love it.
No, I don't know.
What was that? Remember when they was on the ship? Didn't he have a little the gear shift he kept taking off?
Yeah.
I think that's what he made him so he could play with it because he kept taking his gear shift off.
It's flat though, not circle. So
right.
Good.
That wasn't good. Now, I mean, that was his speculation. So we got yours in, Vince. We got two arrays. What you think, Yaz?
We got two arrays prediction. What do you think it is, Yaz?
I think it's like a pendant, obviously, but I think it's like a I don't know, like a special pendant between the two of them, kind of like, like
you could call them, yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is, but that's what I would think it is. Like, it's like a pendant that he's given to his kid. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Tyrone?
They were talking specifically about armor, so I think that he made him some Beskar chainmail.
Chainmail?
Sue. Right as I was saying it, Sue hit it too in the comments. But yeah, I think it's chainmail.
Well, all right. Could you give us some? I mean, for those, I know, of course, what the chainmail reference is, but for Stephanie, if you could, explain to her.
Fair enough. Well, Stephanie, if I may, chainmail is something that, like, in medieval times, Stephanie, under knight's armor, there's like another protective layer of linked together metal that is flexible but still, strong enough to potentially stop an attack of an arrow or something like that, and that's called chainmail. It's because it's linked together, so it could be flexible. All right, I think that's what. So Stephanie, I hope that explanation helped out.
I mean, we already know that,
Vince, sorry.
And if not, if that don't help, you guys in Orlando and in that area, you came up in that area. Jamaicans used to wear those mesh rice beaters. Imagine if it was made out of metal. That's chainmail.
Perfect.
You did not just say that Boba Fett is bringing Grogu as Spraga the Ben's mesh tank.
Yo, he looked out. He's like, look, and I got something else for you. Hey, man, give me that jacket.
Yo,
let me get that jacket for my homie.
I cannot wait to see Grogu and Mandalorian hotbox the Naboo Starfighter, yo. I want him to get pulled over when the smoke is still in the chamber. That's what.
Right, and you know they're gonna get pulled over because them cops is obviously harassing them.
They like, hold up, don't you sound familiar? I don't know, bro. I think you. Nope.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, this ship fits the description of a
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we know
You got chain mail in there too?
All the
Step out the Star Glider, sir.
Yo, I would ask Stephanie, but I get the sense that she doesn't have a guess. I feel like Stephanie's doing her homework.
Do you have a guess, Stephanie?
As to what he gave him.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, do you have a guess, Stephanie? Or
I'm gonna do what you do when you're in a class and you don't really understand the material and just go with what someone else smart said. So I agree with Tyrone.
I'm smart.
Yep.
That's all I got out of that I'm smart. That's
Charlie, you can give a guess, bro. What I mean, do you know?
I think honestly, it's a helmet. I think the Mandalorian creed is to rock a helmet and don't take the helmet off. And I think he looks at him as his son, which would, in essence, be like his I don't know, his apprentice, kind of. So I think he might have got him, and plus the fact that the little whatever he had it in resembled Grogu's head. So I mean, it kind of I think maybe it's a helmet.
But it was so small. You think that a helmet fit in that little bitty?
It might.
I mean, Grogu's head ain't. I mean, Grogu's head is small. I mean, Grogu's little.
It was like it fit in his hand. Like he was holding it like this.
I mean, I guess we'll find out. I mean, maybe he has the metal for the ears and the metal for the ear, and then something for the top of his head, and it's just sat in there like that. I don't know. We're gonna find out next week, though.
Well,
it could be polymimetic alloy.
Yeah.
Living metal.
Well, shoot. That's a good segue. Actually, I'm gonna use that in a little bit. He just brought Terminator Lord. Anyway, so what? I think we're doing all this speculating. Oh, it was weed. It was armor. It was a mesh tank. It was chainmail. And we're gonna find out that it was one of them eggs from that frog that he was ODing on. He's like, bro.
Yo, how about that? He rolled off on that nigga. He was like, "Yo, where you going?" And then he was like, "Oh."
He's like, "Oh shit, we gotta go. You done ate all these dude's kids."
Right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That was a perfect parent-kid moment. Like, what are you doing?
Yo, the funniest part for me is like the mom like catches him. She's like, "Oh, what the?" And he's just like,
"You gotta go.
Are you eating my children, sir?"
He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. These weren't for everybody. My bad."
I say, you know what? My son be tripping. Let me get him out of here.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, fellas. I gotta get ready to go. And I know we were supposed to talk about Peacemaker, but I gotta get ready to go, man. I got another.
You gotta check out. Yeah. Well,
no, I'm here all weekend, but I got another. He said I gotta check out.
I thought
we in Stardome all weekend, brother. I'm here with some more. So.
Yo, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna come through tonight, yo. I'm in Orlando. It should take me like 15 hours if I leave now.
You get on the road now, man, and then there's the time difference, so you save hours.
All right, I get there just in time to see you get here late.
Yeah. But always a pleasure, man. Thank y'all for having me. If I overtalk, it's just a habit. I apologize for that, but I'm going to now be watching both of these series and all of my my nerdy lore with a little more open-mindedness and looking at some of the things you guys brought out, especially the writing. I would like to say about Peacemaker before I go, man. I'm just loving the from what I perceive it as the Civil War mind state of what do we do if these heroes are out of control. So I like all those storylines. I like the boys. I like Peacemaker. I like Suicide Squad. I like all those storylines where somebody's going, if these dudes get out of hand, we got a problem on our hands. So I like it. I'm enjoying the journey with Peacemaker. John Cena is hilarious. I just like he's I think the WWE got about 2 more years out of his money and then he's gone. Because Vince don't let him just walk. They got to pay for a while before. Like The Rock is probably still paying Vince. They don't get to just walk away, bro. So, but I think John Cena got a couple more movies, and then because he was funny in this, man. This is his best role.
Yeah.
I haven't liked him in anything else. This is his role.
Yeah. They say that this is the DC version of Deadpool.
Yes.
And I think that it's giving Deadpool, frankly, a run for his money because
Yeah, it is.
some of the stuff they talk about. But yeah, man, we hate to hold you hostage. But I hope you'll come back and talk Peacemaker because he was supposed to. Viewers, he was supposed to come talk Peacemaker only, and then we learned right before he came on that he.
I did watch Boba. I did watch Boba and found out I was the only motherfucker that liked it.
I was there with you. But thanks again to Ray.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate
the show
it.
tonight. Tell some more. We said what up.
We'll
And
do
yo,
Blurred
do us a
Water.
favor.
I'll let her know. Blurred Water or to say hello.
Yeah, hey, do that, man. Get a drop for us, and yeah, we hope to see you again in the next few weeks where we can talk Peacemaker. As I think that the finale is coming up. Everybody,
Yes, sir.
Ty, can we get an applause for my man
Absolutely,
Ray as he is on the way out, y'all? Thank you so
y'all,
much.
man. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe, stay watching, stay dreaming.
Yeah, guys, to Ray Gordon, man, he is out of here, man. Friend of the panel, man. Definitely high blurred order with this man. The force runs deep with my dog. And I'm a little mad, I ain't gonna lie, because I was looking forward to talking Peacemaker with him, but we can still talk Peacemaker. We got a few minutes left. Before we say anything else real quick, I just want to remind everybody while I got your attention to make sure you all do share this very live right now. Stop what you're doing. Share the live on your homepage. Spread the love and gospel of the New Blurred Order, and we want to invite more folks to the conversation. Also, make sure you like, follow us, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And another quick announcement, believe it or not, today at the end of the show, somebody that I know has a bitch of the week to talk about. So don't go too far, everybody. And I'm looking forward to seeing who that might be. I don't know who it is as of yet, but hopefully one Yaz, since she is feeling hopefully a little better, will let us know. All right, Yaz, can you give us a hint? Like, I mean, we don't want to know.
On Peacemaker. I'll give you a hint.
It's on Peacemaker? Okay, all right.
It's one of the crew on the Peacemaker show. That's it.
Well, I already know.
Somebody from Peacemaker. Okay. So we'll get.
Wait. I'm sorry. It's not on the crew, but it was in somebody in this last episode. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, all right.
We've seen him more than once too, but he's on this last episode.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, hey, so guys, wreck your brains trying to remember or trying to think who Yaz's bitch of the week may be. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was so Mandalorian'd out. It's just like I was so geeked up. Like I literally have not been sleeping. I've been so like this episode like woke my inner soul up. To the point where I was watching Peacemaker, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had taken a back seat, but it was an episode with a few things that happened. And guess who actually watched Peacemaker this week?
Is it Stephanie?
All right, don't get too excited because I understand she's not a fan. So
wait, did you see the Batman scene though?
I did enjoy that deeply, and I fully agreed. He's a menace to society who beats criminals up and puts them back on the street.
All right, well, you're caught up though now, huh, Steph?
Yes.
What say you? What are your authentic feelings?
I don't hate it nearly as much as I thought I would. You know, there were even moments I enjoyed. I will continue watching. I'm struggling with being able to willingly admit enjoyment of a DC property. That's challenging for me. Hating DC is a deep part of my nerd identity. But I will say Peacemaker is, it's giving me some conflicted feelings. I'll give it that.
Okay. All right. I think I'll take that. Hey, look, we got her watching Peacemaker, man. And this most recent episode, I ain't gonna lie, I felt it was very developmental. It wasn't really monumental in terms of moving the needle on the plot line. However, there were some very significant things that happened. Maybe y'all noticed them, maybe you didn't. One, which it really went brushed over, is that our good friend, the vigilante, made quite the confession. And I don't know if y'all caught it because it happened so quickly that you wouldn't catch it if you weren't watching. He said he doesn't have feelings. He said he doesn't have emotions like anybody else. And I mean, he said it real quick, and it was kind of like, something that was kind of brushed over. But I thought that was really telling. Like if you think about what he said, and then you think about his character as it has been this whole entire series, he hasn't really been displaying emotions. He hasn't really been handling things the way normal, if that's even a real word that we can use, people would. And it's starting to make his character make a little more sense. But now I'm curious as to whether or not that's like a mutation, if that's a deformity, if that's just a mental illness, it's just a sidebar. Does he really not feel emotions, or was that just a line that they wrote in to be funny? You know, like it was. I mean, I caught that when he said it. I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? What was that? So that's something that happened. What say you, Tali?
In the context of what he was saying and why he said it, it was in the midst of him, describing to Peacemaker that he's a bully. And he was basically saying, like it stuff rolls off me because I don't really have any emotions. But if I was a guy with emotions, you know what I'm saying, it might bother me. I could see, like, when you told my brother, when you told people my brother had this wrong with his penis or whatever you said, So I think he does absolutely have emotions. I think he absolutely has emotions. We've seen him in the midst of his emotions a couple of times thus far through this series. I thought you were, when you were kind of playing this up, I thought you were talking about Mern, because Mern had the conversation where he said he literally has no emotions. Like, that was like, he was like talking to, he was in a tree or something on a ladder, and he was saying how he doesn't have any emotion, and he hasn't had any emotions, and he's trying to transition to being a good person or something like that, I guess.
That's when he was talking to economists.
Yeah, he was but you remember that conversation, right,
yep.
Tyrone?
Yep.
Yeah, so when you said, like, no emotions, like Merd, I can actually see him not having emotions, except for the last episode where he kind of got upset with old boy for putting I mean, that was a visible, clear show of emotion of him being upset with old boy for putting his dad in there. He was like, that was a clear show. But he did claim that to not have any emotions. But I think in what's case, this was just more like him just trying to dumb it down. Because
I mean, just to be clear real quick, and to clear up what I said, he didn't say he didn't have emotions. He said, I don't have emotions like normal people do. So, I mean, it's not that he says that he doesn't feel things. He just said that it's not the same way other people. What's up, Steph?
Oh, I think he is a textbook psychopath. Adebayo and Mern talked about it. Oh, I'm dead ass serious. Like, literally, DSM-4 meets the standards for antisocial personality disorder. Add on top his penchant for violence. I think he is quite literally a psychopath. And so he does not feel emotions like other people because he has this disorder. And that's what makes him an effective killer. And I'm here for it.
It's like when he killed those butterflies, when he just, like, kind of nonchalantly just like, okay, I'm gonna shoot this guy, I'm gonna shoot that girl. Like, he kills with no regard for
shallow emotional responses, impulsivity, lack of empathy, increased chance of antisocial behavior. He's a psychopath. And I was a psych major.
Okay, I was wondering, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, she went full Howard University just now. But we're talking about vigilante, right? Not Peacemaker. We're talking about vigilante.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Steph just literally did a scene out of Ozark. What was that show recently where the girl? Oh shoot, damn! They're like, oh, he's all right. It's too late. It's gone. Damn it! But there's a show where they're like, yo, we're gonna hire somebody to be a psychologist. She's like, you just talk about Cobra Kai. Damn, y'all didn't watch it. Anyway. All right. Anyway. So but yeah, yes, sir.
Well, to Stephanie, I have to disagree a little bit with you there, because for him to be a complete psychopath, he would and not have not have any emotion, or lack thereof. His relationship to Peacemaker is that of, he's in admiration of him, but also looks at him like a best friend, family. So much that he's willing to go get arrested, go into jail, kill the person that could possibly frame his friend, and stuff like that. So I think the killing part, I think, is him trying to show off. I think him coming into this whole adventure with Peacemaker and them was contingent on him proving himself, because for the most of the time that they met him, he was on the outside looking in, and they were like, what is he doing here? Like, what, what I'm saying, stuff like that. And at that very moment, he saw an opportunity to prove himself again, and he took on the opportunity. Now, granted, I agree with both of you that he has no propensity, he kills at just for pleasure. He wanted to literally go kill someone with a chainsaw just to say he killed somebody with a chainsaw. So I get it, yeah. But I do think he does have emotions, and he does care. He just is showing this idea that I'm good, everything, yeah, dude, yeah, like, that's him. That's him.
We,
This is him.
we agree. A psychopath doesn't have no emotions. They just don't regulate them well, and they process them differently. So it doesn't mean that he would never feel anything, but he's a general lack of empathy. He doesn't interpret facial expressions well. Like, he shows all the signs. They wrote him as a psychopath for sure.
Wow.
She's got the way.
Yeah, she literally diagnosed him.
I have the DSM-4 sitting on my bookshelf right now. I used to diagnose people for fun. It was rude, but really enjoyable.
Now, Steph, I know exactly what a DSM-4 is, but Jazz over here.
It's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Personality Disorders. It's the official book that psychologists and psychiatrists use to see what is a person exhibiting and decide this is what is wrong with them.
Stephanie's got files on all of us.
Yeah.
One thing me and Batman have in common. Yeah, I guess.
Amanda Waller of the group.
The Stephanie Ray question of the day is going to be, which one of us is a psychopath next week? But let's also, real quick before we wrap up, go over some of the other stuff that happened that I thought was kind of developmental, but some of it was, I think, a little more significant than we might know. We could have easily retitled the name of this episode "The Ballad of John Economos," as basically we learned that he's been picked on, and to the point where he's kind of like got feelings, and Miss Amanda Waller Adebayo is trying to kind of like stick up for him. So I thought that was kind of interesting how they ended up forming a bond, and by the end of the episode, they now have become the whatever band, 11th Street band clique.
11th Street.
But I say that to segue into this. One of the reasons why they were able to become so cool is because John Economos, after being picked on so much, went full nuts and stabbed a gorilla in the chest from behind with a chainsaw.
That was awesome.
This is significant on many levels because I have a feeling this is not the last time we're going to see a gorilla. If you recall, right before he died, he spoke. Did he not?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was talking.
Do you remember what he said, Ty?
No.
Something about humans being weak or something.
That's exactly what I thought. Well, anyway, I don't remember what he said. I just remember that he talked, and that made me think: is that Grodd? I was like, is this Grodd? I don't think it's Grodd.
Different
it's not Grodd.
No.
All right, we know for a fact it's not Grodd.
Place where they do that, where other gorillas.
Yeah.
It's not Grodd. However, after doing a little research on the Peacemaker comics, there appears to be some gorillas that do end up becoming main characters and actually end up fighting alongside Mr. Peacemaker in some instances. And so I think what we may have just witnessed is a segue to bringing in these type of gorillas, and they may even be full cast members in shows to come. I don't know. Now I think Grodd is one of the most fascinating DC character. Stephanie, I know we're not DC fans, you and I, but Grodd, you talk about psychopath. I mean, Grodd has basically got like Professor X type powers. All right. But he's a big ass gorilla. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's like one of the most feared, fierce, dangerous DC villains because like he's not just a big ape, but he is still a big ape with the ability to stomp you and also diagnose you, sit down and counsel you back to health. So I'm here for that, man. I'm hoping that they go a little more into this, but Tyrone, I get the feeling that might just be me wishfully thinking. This might
I mean, are we just gonna just like roll over the fact that he said Superman likes to go up the butt, man? Like this, yo, it's like the references that they're doing to these other DC superheroes is just like, it's funny as shit. Like if it's not Batman, it's Superman. Peacemaker has the lowdown on everybody. Like what next? Green Lantern, Shazam. Like what are we talking about here?
Yes.
Like,
Well, he's also like he was like, oh, you think you're smarter than Google?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, like I don't know if he has the lowdown on everybody. I feel like he's very susceptible to misinformation. He's like, oh, you're smarter than Google. Like he gets this shit off Google and just like says it like he knows it.
Smarter than Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think the episode was cool. It was fun. It was still consistent with the others. It just wasn't really. It didn't really move the needle. I mean, the only things that really happened plot wise is that John Economos, they all formed a team now. We now know that there's another butterfly that went to help out your boy. What's his name? I forget his name. Mern. So this guy is now. So now
we know he's a butterfly. How do we know that?
How do we know that? How do we know that this guy's a
We
butterfly?
know Waller sent him. We know Waller sent him.
I mean, I don't know for a fact that this guy's a butterfly, but I do have my suspicions based on him and Mern having that tight-knit relationship with each other. And I think that Mern, he's hidden things about the butterfly. And so this is a guy he hasn't talked about the relationship, and he ended up putting the dragon back in jail. So I'm just speculating. I don't know for a fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Waller he's a fixer. He's like what they would call a fixer. So like if you have a problem, he comes and fixes the problem.
Yep.
And then Waller sent him, and their interaction between him and Merd was more like, like this is what you do, so just do what you do. I didn't really see like any like closeness or like any.
All right, so maybe he's not a butterfly. I guess I just thought that because they were communicating with each other in confidence that they were both butterfly. We have yet to really see what a butterfly really is. Oh, don't get me wrong. I know we know what it looks like. I know we know what it is inside somebody's body. I know what it does once it takes over somebody. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But it still sticks out to me what the little Jedi, the judo fighter said. He's like, you don't understand. The butterflies are not, and then he just got shot.
Yeah, we don't know if they're a bad thing.
Right.
Like so far, we haven't seen butterflies do any dirt. We've only seen them like protect their own property and attack when they are attacked. That's all we've seen out of butterflies so far.
What about that first girl that Peacemaker had sex with?
He left the files on the bed, and she found out that he was supposed to be killing butterflies.
Yeah, she was reading when he was like when he came out of the bathroom.
Yeah, so we haven't seen a butterfly be the aggressor, like be the make the first strike yet.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fair. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask this question: How does number one? How did Peacemaker know to feed the butterfly what he fed it before they had the actual meeting? And where did he get the stuff to feed
from her house?
From whose house?
The girl. Remember, he went back to get shit from her house.
And he also saw the people in the the rich people in the dining room. He saw them eating that stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot that.
All right. Well, that brings us to a good point. Speaking of some of the last episodes, brings us right to Yaz's bitch of the week. So why don't we go ahead and just go around and speculate who we believe it is? I actually know, so I'm not going to guess. But yeah, man. Why don't y'all? Yaz, maybe you can. Does anybody have a guess as of yet? Nobody knows at all. Yaz's bitch of the week. Anybody got a guess?
I'm interested in hearing Yaz get right into it.
You ready?
Okay. All right. Well, who is our bitch of the week, Yaz? Just go ahead and lay it on the show. Who is the bitch?
All right, guys. So, bitch of the week this week is going to be Evan, the boyfriend of Amber. The one that Peacemaker and Vision have threesome with. Yeah, that nigga's a bitch, bro. Oh my god. She was all like trying to be rat out Peacemaker, and he's like, no, tell him the truth. It was them. He framed us. He told him we had to. Like, what the fuck, bro? All he did was and he squealed like a fucking bitch. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right, well,
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm so glad she's here. That nigga is a bitch. All right, I have a confession to make. I thought Yaz was going. I thought she said that it was old girl. That was the bitch of the week. And so I actually had prepared graphics for the girl. So,
Nah, so it was dope. I liked Amber. Yo, she was like, "No, I don't think it's them." But her man was like, "Stop fucking lying. It's them. He's a bitch, dog. He needs some Peacemaker gonna fuck him up." That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. The bitch of the week this week, thanks to none other than our queen Yaz, is a full bitch with the volume cranked all the way up. So thank you for providing that, man. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it for this week, man. I mean, there's the Mandalorian was this week's
More than enough.
MVP. I mean, I damn near didn't have it. I mean, even after I watched Peacemaker, I was still thinking about Mandalorian. And I mean, it just goes to show, man, sometimes one episode can make a big difference. I mean, look, Stephanie's on board now. She called it the Book of Boba Fett.
I don't know that I'd say I'm on board. I'm on board with any episode in which Boba Fett does not appear.
All right.
Also, you know, it's telling them that you just called it the Mandalorian twice. You didn't even call it the Book of Boba Fett, and it was a Mandalorian episode. It almost wasn't even a Book of Boba Fett episode. But I loved it, man. Yeah, Stephanie, when you get some time, check out the Mandalorian series. I think you really like it. It would also fill in a lot of really cool story for you. So yeah, it's good shit.
She said she's seen a couple episodes, right?
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
She knows
It gets better. It gets better.
Yeah, that's one show that there's probably out of all, I think there's 20 episodes. It's 10 episodes per season, right?
I believe so.
And so I think that out of all 20, I think episodes is probably like 2 or 3 lulls, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I won't even tell you which ones they were. You probably won't even know which ones they are. We didn't even talk about the fact that they bit off of Halo and had a whole ring world. I'm really curious about this whole thing. Like, how can you just show up on this? I like the fact that they also had him going through Baker's Canyon. I mean, it just goes on and on. We didn't have enough time on today's episode to go through all of the nuances of this season, of this show. But all I can say is, man, next week, high expectations, because I feel like what we're basically getting is a group of people that look like Mandalorian that are going to unite like the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? And that's being set up right now. And each of their individual personalities, including Bo-Katan, who I do think will still be instrumental in the upcoming series, is pretty dope.
Well, we got 2 episodes, so I mean, the worst possible thing the writing room can do right now is not piggyback this momentum. Like, if you go into the next episode and don't have Mandalorian and give us all Boba Fett, and we're like, man, that shit just wasn't as good as you just. I mean, come on, man. Like, you gotta just keep it up. Keep it up now.
Yeah, we gotta go back to Boba's palace and see him reading How to Run a Business for Dummies, because he's got some work to do.
Thanks.
Can we? I mean, are we? Well, I hope that what we're not doing is just hating on whenever Boba's on screen, and you know what I'm saying, and like I mean, that's what it feels like. I mean, one thing that is prevalent, I'd say, is that this show made some people like Liam feel like they had a almost like a moment where they missed Boba Fett. Like, you see folks like Sue, who was in the comments, and Ty like, yo, well, where the fuck, how you gonna do this and just not have Boba in the whole episode? Like, it made some of the actual Boba Fett fans come out of the woodwork and be like, yo, look, man, I know y'all talking about my Fett, but I want to see my Boba Fett. You know, the Boba Fett fandom exists, and even though the guy who plays him even says that he talks too much and that he's not being steered in the right direction, I still think that lingering adoration for Boba Fett is out there. Well, unless y'all got anything else, man. I mean, you know, we could talk about
check
it.
out Vox Machina. Check
Yeah.
out Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's a lot of cursing, a lot of gruesome stuff. You know, a lot of little innuendos and all kind of little funny shit. It was cool.
Awesome.
3
Yeah,
episodes.
Yaz, you recommended it. Yaz, you definitely recommend that show?
I definitely recommend that show. Yes, 100%. I saw all 3 episodes yesterday. I could not stop watching. It was intriguing to the max. I loved it.
All right. Well, that's something that we'll probably in the next few weeks when we start losing shows, we may start following up on. For right now, just want to say to everybody, as always, make sure you are your authentic self in all forms, wherever you are, no matter how cold it is in your area. If you ain't being your authentic self, obviously you're being fake. And in all things you is, if you is truly a geek, wherever you at, go ahead and let that geek flag fly. Hallelujah. We'll see y'all next week.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to beat Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah, now look at what I wear.